So, another quick bonus video inspired by a video that Ron's Muscle Car Diecast did on the Ford stock car collection he has. And I didn't just want to do stock cars because that would be a short video. But some of my favorite Fords from the 1960s. And you're thinking, oh, Joe, it's going to be all Mustangs. And no, I could do a Mustang video much longer than this, but this beautiful Johnny Lightning yellow 1965 Mustang convertible with metal base, metal body, but plastic wheels. I have had this one for over 15 years. Most of my Johnny Lightning collection is of that age. 10 to 15, some even older. And this little Ford Sunbeam, I think I showed in the Global Fords video. And of course, it'd be easy to go with my Mustangs and my Cobras, Hot Wheels, Greenlight Motor World, Hot Wheels, Johnny Lightning, and so forth. But I thought I'd go with some of the other Fords from the 1960s. Again, not going strictly with Mustang, but this is a Hot Wheels 1962 Ford Mustang concept. And for my European viewers, the engine in this is the Taunus, the Cologne V4 four-cylinder in a mid-engine configuration rear-wheel drive that was never made. But again, Ford, global company, 1960s, very odd time. But sticking with some of the more mainstream, some of my favorites. This is a Greenlight 1965 Ford Galaxy from the Ohio State Patrol, and this, I believe, is Country Roads. And this is copyright 2008, 1965 Ford Galaxy 500. It doesn't say the series on this, but metal base, metal tires, metal body, opening hood with engine, the single police bubble, no insignias, which I guess is why this is not from Hot Pursuit. This is, I would have to look for the package. And this I bought loose off of eBay, so I don't know what series this was. But this is also a white 1965 Galaxy 500, a civilian deco. Number 120, I don't know how many of these they made. This is an older one with the green rivet. Painted engine details. Very nice. But these are the cars of my childhood. Ford Galaxies. Ford Fairlane. And this is from the Classic Gold series. And this is a 1966 or 67 Ford Fairlane. And I actually had one of my first cars was a Ford Fairlane station wagon in 1967, and one of my favorites. And Hot Wheels has done this. This is from the Flames series. And I have another one unopened here. 1966 Ford Fairlane GT. From the 2009 new models. And I don't know why that's still in the package all these years. As Champion DJK and others would say, free the peace Friday, I guess. And it's not as detailed as the Johnny Lightning, but the side tampos are nice. Plastic base, plastic wheels, but This is actually a very nice little die cast. The same hood scoop as this one. Push that. And the Auto World Mercury Comet Caliente 66. And this would be the sister car, the Mercury version of the Fairlane. And this is really nice. The level of detail. And the real weight of it. But my 1960s Ford. And I love Fairlanes. As you can see, I have the Hot Wheels and the Johnny Lightning and the Auto World Mercury. This is one of my favorite. The Holman Moody 1967 Ford Fairlane stock car from Johnny Lightning. And I don't think I can see the name on the door. Hold on. If I have pictures of this on Instagram. Let me see if I can read that. Is it Parsons? David Parsons? And these are older than the Auto World, and the scale's a little off. I know that Chasing Diecast Cars is mentioned in comments, and the scale is a little off. This Auto World 164, true 164, and this Johnny Lightning. So the scale is a little small on the older Johnny Lightning. They're getting better. And this is a 1963 Ford Fairlane station wagon that was part of a Matchbox 5-pack that I got. And again, my family has a history with Fairlanes. I love them. I love all Fords from the 1960s. So I just wanted to show those real quick. And the Johnny Lightning 1966 Ford Bronco. Before Greenlight started cranking out this 1965 to 77 Bronco and the toyish Matchbox version, this was the best you could get. So here is the Matchbox version, and it's okay, but I'm not a fan, obviously. But then again, you're paying $1 for that, and at the time you're paying somewhere between $3 and $5 for this. Again, I've had this. This is the 60 Sizzle series. I've had this for ages. And I showed most of my Falcons the other night when I did the Global Fords, including this Matchbox, which I just saw. Brendan from New Zealand showed his off of this. And normally I would open this up. Well, I may open it up, but I like the card art. I want to hold on to this one in the package for a little while. And then Hot Wheels did a nice Ford truck series a while back. As you can see, I paid $4 for this at a toy show a few years ago. And this is a 1965 Ford Falcon Ranchero. And copyright on this is 2018, so I guess it was maybe just last year that I found this. And out of this series, I only have that Ford truck and the Ranchero and the Bronco in green. The only ones I really wanted. But again, I have a thing for Galaxies and Fairlanes. And here, 2007 new model, 64 Ford Galaxy 500 from Hot Wheels. And they have a number of versions of this. I want to get some of the newer ones, but 2007, and at least it's chrome on the front. It's very light, plastic base, but my station wagon that I had was this color, and that's the famous teardrop, a reverse teardrop hood that the 427 cars would have had. And I actually have a second 2007 new model. It's the same thing, only in white with some stripes. So it's been in the package for 13 years. Let's pull it out. And those stripes are tasteful. They're not period correct, but the subtle deck lid ducktail spoiler is for stock car racing. You would have never really seen that on the street. Maybe in the late 80s or so as a resto mod, but not back when these were running around. And this one here still has that same, and I didn't notice that until I got them out of the package. And so these are 1964. I have a 1963 from Johnny Lightning. Very similar. You can see the different changes they made. And of course, this is a stock. This is from the Road Trip series. And it came with a little teepee and a dog and a cactus. And the hood doesn't open wide, but there is a detailed engine in there in black. All the markers, grill work done, all the emblems, the paint, metal base, rubber tires, bumper stickers. Can't read that one maybe when you see it, and the license plate. I'll try and see what that says later on when I rewatch this. And this 1963 T-Bird, Thunderbird, the Bullet Bird, with the turbine taillights. And this is a factory tonneau cover. And the hood opens, and somewhat detailed engine, metal base, rubber tires, white walls, authentic Kelsey Hayes. They I don't know how well they show up, but they're Kelsey Hayes wire wheels. These are beautiful. And again, I've had most of these Johnny Lightnings for an awful long time. 60 Sizzle is the red one, and this one, and then the Road Trip was the other one. This is just a 1967 or 68 Thunderbird. And this was a Thunderbird marked package. It didn't say, but look at the details. No plate, but nicely painted taillights and trim. This one here has the plastic wheels. And for this period of time, I think in 1997 or 1999, Johnny Lightning was doing these Krager licensed wheels rather than factory authentic wheels. But still, they look nice. And the blue painted engine in there. And rare to see one of these without a vinyl top in reality, but this is nice, and I believe they actually have a variation from Johnny Lightning with the vinyl roof. So these are the cars from when I was a kid. These are the ones that really stoked me. And I've mentioned Maisto. I showed in the last video 2 Maisto cars. This is a Maisto, and this is a 1964 Galaxy. And this was a $3.50 car many years ago when I bought it. The wheel's a little oversized, but it's nice, and I believe it is really 164, close to it. Hot Wheels is never perfect, but for comparison, they're close in size. But more important, and Johnny Lightning, I just said, is sometimes small for scale, but not always. And until I get one of those Auto World Country Squires to compare it to, I'd say this is actually pretty good. Not having a lot of Maistos, the 2 trucks and the other 2 cars, not having a lot of Maisto 164 scale, excuse me. I have larger scale Maisto, and they're very nice. But this is actually pretty neat. And then going back to stock cars, sort of, we're going to start with the 1969 Talladega. And this is Larry Pearson, number 98, the Torino Talladega Jim Robbins special from the Stock Car Legends series. I have 3 of these, the Fairlane, this, and the last one I'll show you. But this is neat, as Ron is pointing out. No taillights there. You have the blackout. They have the number there of the car. Headlights have the blank plates with numbers or just black. And again, the scale on this is probably a little bit off, but it's a really nice model. These are some of my favorites. I had these for 17 years before I opened them. And that's another one that Matchbox has made, and I have 2 of these Union 76 liveries. I guess I forgot I had one. I liked it enough. I bought it a second. And then the red with the flames from Hot Wheels. And I actually have, that's the Ford Talladega. This is the 69 Mercury Cyclone, which is a similar car. And green with the flames. And my father actually had a similar car. Not the fastback version, but he had the 1968 and a half Mercury Montego in red and black when I was a little kid. So that was always one of my favorite cars. And this last one, I believe, is actually a 1970 Cyclone spoiler, the Purelator livery. Did I get the... Donnie Allison is the driver, if I can get that close enough to the camera and you can read that. And again, I'll admit that this is probably a little narrow, maybe even a little off of 1/64 scale, but just a very nice car. And Johnny Lightning also made a civilian version. I believe this is Classic Gold, I forget, of the 69 Torino Talladega. And there is a plate number. So the detail on these are nice. And until I get the Greenlight Matrix version, this is the only nice Lincoln Continental, and I know that this is small for scale because these were huge, and even just comparing it to this Auto World intermediate car, so the scale again on Johnny Lightning is not perfect. They are small, smaller than 1/64. And that's why I want to get one of those Greenlight, probably the Matrix Lincoln Continentals. And I think I showed this before. This is the Ertl American Muscle 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt, coming out of its package for the first time. And the level of detail on this is just amazing. Look at that. The inner lights removed for ram air tubes for the 427 racing engine. And of course, Ertl American Muscle. The hood opens for very detailed. If I can get the angle right, you can actually see the black tubes coming here from the headlight to the air cleaner in the center. And even though it's a drag car, it's got a license plate. Front and back. And because it's an Ertl American Muscle, the trunk opens. And I believe this one shows the fuel cell in there and the batteries for weight distribution for racing. And just beautiful. If I can hold this straight enough for you to see. And I got this earlier this year. I'd never heard of Ertl American Racing until I had watched, I believe it was Champion DJK. So just a, ran a little longer than I wanted, but I want to just do a little quick 1960s Fords video for you. You'll see a lot of Ford, but I have others. I'll show you some Pontiacs and Chevys and everything another night. Good night. Have a good weekend.